right, you are back with comedian David Boyle and I'm quitting alcohol. So you are here with the comeback kid. Fresh off my first gig in 7 months last night, and it went pretty good. There was 10 people in the crowd, couple of comics up the back, and that's it. It was fucking fun. I forgot how fun stand-up is. I went up with no material, just a couple of ideas I had floating around in my head. And those ideas were mainly just yelling abuse at the lockdown. What else was I going to talk about? Of course I'm talking about the lockdown. What, am I going to ignore the lockdown and just talk about parking inspectors or something? But this comedy room, it's a small room anyway. It's got a nice little stage. It's a nice setup, but maximum you're getting like maybe 40 people in there. It's like a little dungeon, so 10 people in there isn't so bad. There was a couple of seconds there where I thought it was going to go pear-shaped. I walked on stage, I said something, then I said another thing that I thought was going to get a laugh and it got nothing. And then I was like, in my head, I was like, oh fuck, I have no material. What am I going to do now? I think I said something real creative like, fuck that lockdown sucked. Which is the fucking Melbourne version at the moment of saying, fuck Trump. It will get a little cheer from some people in the crowd. So once I had that false cheer, that was enough for me. In my brain, I converted that into like a massive round of applause and built up my ego around it and then just started throwing shit at the wall. There was some footage of it. Some dude in the crowd took a video and sent it to me. But something happened with the video and it's all fucking black and green and shit. Doesn't show up. I'll put a little bit of a snippet up at the end of this just to prove I'm still a comedian. But fuck, it was good to be back on stage again. Those laughs are like a drug, baby. They give you some sort of fucking high. But it was also good to be hanging out with comedians again. Just anyone, actually. I haven't been hanging out with anyone for months. But there was about 12 or 15 comedians hanging out the front of this bar. Completely social distance, mask everywhere. No one was shaking hands. No, honestly, I don't think anyone there had a mask. There was 12 manky, dirty comedians sharing darts, laughing in each other's mouths. Hugging, kissing. It was disgusting and it was great. But I think that's the way I'm going to tackle comedy now. I'm just going to have ideas in my head. Like I do with this podcast. I just have a couple of little ideas sometimes. And then I'll just go on stage and try and expand them. That plan is not going to go well for quite a long time. But hopefully, after about 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years of doing that, I'll be good at it. Obviously, you can't expand an idea for an hour and make it entertaining and have a structure to it and all that bullshit. I mean at these smaller gigs, the 10 people gigs, just go up there, fuck around. That was fun. That was as fun a gig as I've done in at least 9 months. If I'm going to be doing that though, I have to be in front of like crowds of 6 people, 8 people for at least the next 3 or 4, 5 months. I will want to stay in the fucking shadows while I'm doing that. You don't want to be out in the open exposed when you're trying to experiment with shit. But it was very liberating going on stage and not caring if you fucking ate shit. God, that was nice. But being around comedians again last night really made me remember how severely mentally ill most comedians are. Every single one of them has a problem. I sat there quiet for a couple of minutes and just looked around. And there were issues everywhere. One comedian rocked up. He didn't even have a gig there that night. Shirt open, completely off his head on GBH. He said he'd been on the G all day. And that was Wednesday. So he'd been on the G all Wednesday. He had his shirt open. He was showing everyone his six-pack. And then he pulled his pants down to show everyone how he'd trimmed his pubes. We're like, bro, we haven't seen each other in 9 months. This is your opener. You're going straight with show us your dick. I respect it. Don't get me wrong. I respect it. But come on, fucking a little bit of foreplay. He was a problem. The MC was a problem. The MC was the only one with a mask on, and he wore it the whole fucking time, and he was wearing some sort of like jacket that looked like a fucking hazmat suit. He looked like someone out of Chernobyl. There was this other guy, this Turkish comedian, who's a complete fucking unit. He's funny, he's young, he's just sort of started, but he's out of his fucking mind. He turns up looking like a fucking Greek painter, wanting to do cash-only jobs. Only paint the house for cash. He was in high vis and painter's shorts, and he's never had a fucking job in his life. He's never worked. He's been on the fucking dole his whole life, and he's a conspiracy theorist who hates the welfare state. I tell you what, if you ever want to listen to a group of people that are completely out of their mind, but they think they've got it figured out, you've got to hang around comedians because they will give you advice on just about any subject or topic you like. Any aspect of your life that might be going wrong, they'll impart their wisdom as their life falls apart. There was a chick comedian there, just a new one, who fucks old guys for money. Like she's a sugar mama or some shit like that. She's my age, so I don't know how fucking old these dudes are. But she was giving us all a little bit of advice about spirituality. She's figured it all out. And maybe she has. She would have the time on her hands. How many times do you need to jerk off an old dude? Like twice a week? That's fuck all. That's wham bam, thank you ma'am. Then you have the rest of the time to study Buddhism and shit like that. She's wanking her way to freedom. I'm definitely the worst though, because people were like, what have you been up to? And I'm like, oh, I've just been fucking getting my life in order, you know what I mean? So what are you doing? I'm like, so I wake up in the morning, I meditate, do the Wim Hof method, do some writing, take cold showers, do some exercise, I do yoga, I go vegetarian once a week, I haven't eaten sugar in 6 months, don't smoke, don't drink, don't take drugs. I quit coffee and I don't use my phone every Monday. And these fucked up units are looking at me like going, that cunt is fucked. He's really trying to fucking repress some demons, that cunt. They're the dangerous ones. The ones that do nothing. Like we're all fuck ups, but he's trying not to be a fuck up, which means he's the most dangerous one here. But it was good to be back. Alright, that's it from me tonight. I'll chuck a little snippet at the end of this. I don't know what yet, I haven't listened back. I'll have to listen and then choose the juiciest part. Alright, see you the fuck later. It's just good to feel something again. It's like feeling again. What was the first thing you did after lockdown? When they let you out? Went to the pub? Fuck. That's not a bad one. You? Tell you what I did? I went to Kmart at 12:01 a.m. and I walked straight to the stationery aisle and I got a Stanley knife and then I walked straight over to outdoor furniture and I just lay in the middle of the aisle in the outdoor furniture and just started cutting myself going, I can feel again! Yeah, that was going to be dicey as well. Some of these aren't going to work.